That's the issue with chain migration. We need to change that policy as well.
Trade-off for the walls, that's why he did that?
That's, in his thinking, yeah, he's negotiating, he's making a deal. But I still don't think that's the right way to go.
So I definitely agree with a lot of what the both of you guys said, but we have to look at immigration properly. So with the DACA kids that were brought here, that's a very different situation. And then when we look at immigration that's done the proper way, which my mother is an immigrant and several of our friends are as well too, when they came in, everything begins with an I-94 When you're coming here to visit or do whatever, you're tracked. They know who you are. They know what's going on, and they let you know when it's time to renew. So where the breach happened with these DACA kids, parents are bringing them over here. Some of them had those forms that did not renew, but a lot of them did not have those forms. So then number one, we've got to consider the cost of sending them back. If that was financially feasible, it should be done. Shouldn't it?
It doesn't cost that much.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if
fill
it's
up a
financially
fuel
feasible,
on
let's
a
do that.
53-foot bus. And I will drive it down the board, which I'm licensed to do. Drive it down the board, and I'll do it for free. And you can haul out 55 at one time.
And drive them over oceans as well too, and
No,
mountains as
drive
well.
right down here to the
But
board.
anyhow, there
You go.
exactly there is a cost for all that being done. And in America, we can afford it. We're America. If we can afford to do all these other social programs, we can afford to do that. But since they are here, what do we do that we're not wasting so much money? What do? We are in a dilemma, and it's not as easy as, oh, send them back. Let's just be very real. Let's just be very real right now. These people are here, they're in our country, they're taking so much tax money, they're draining all these different things, but what is the cost of sending them back? What is it gonna cost us, and why can't we just have a starting place for every person here? Start with the I-94 form. You've gotta prove that you're able to do A, B, C, or D to be able to be here, because it's just not right. And then now we also have to bear the financial burden to send them back as well too.
Well,
Quite frankly, I'm not for any of that, but we are where we are. Every one of my family that's migrated here, we did the legal way, the right way, and we're still working towards becoming citizens. And I'm also not a fan of the whole amnesty thing, because it's taken my mother, my uncles, my aunts years and a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of time to become citizens, just for them to be able to have this right to jump the gun. It isn't. It simply is not fair. It just isn't. I'm sorry, my family are immigrants. I understand the process. I know exactly how much it takes, the time that it costs, and the expense of it all. But since we're in this situation, what is it that we do? We've got to make proper decisions. And if we're fiscally conservative Republicans, we have to count the cost on every single side as well too. I'm willing to look at all the sides that are going on here, and unlike our Democratic friends or whatever that wants to allow illegal people to vote, we've got to shut that down as fast as possible. If they're not citizens, how can they vote? But yet they're doing it. Something's not right about that. So it's more than just, oh, send them back, do this. Let's look seriously at what is going on here. Let's look seriously at the cost that it takes. And if it's going to take my mother 37 years to become a citizen, why should it happen so quickly for them as well too? Shouldn't concessions be made for people that have taken their time as well? It's not a one-stop shop, and we have got to understand that. We've got to look at this thing very seriously and make a real decision as to what to do and how to make it happen.
I would suggest, and if any of y'all get to Congress, I would like for you to consider the fact that if we enforce the laws that are on the books, if we force employers to use E-Verify and actually punish them,
Yes.
if they do not, and if they're caught using illegal labor, if you cut off the welfare benefits that are keeping people here because it's free money, you know, people will go back to their homes because there's nothing for them here at that point. And it's not a matter of us having to round up people and deport them. It's a matter of they will just go home.
They will go. And that,
So,
and thank you for that point, because that is the biggest issue. If they know that they can come here to work, they have jobs, they're gonna keep coming. But we are also doing illegal things as Americans. Why are we hiring illegal aliens so we'll have lower labor? That's not right.
Because
That's not
the
right.
people that hire are not punished.
Exactly, because we are not simply enforcing the laws that are already on the books. So like I said, we can't just say, oh, it's illegal, that's them. We are doing wrong things too that have enabled this. We have to also put ourselves in check as well. Thank you for bringing that up.
That we don't want it at all, okay? You let that camel get his nose under the tent, and he gonna get his whole body under there.
Yep.
You give an inch, they're gonna take a mile. Take a look at Congress for the last 50 years, it's the same way. It was supposed to have been with Reagan.
Right.
He let
5 million during Reagan.
3 or whatever, and
3
they
million.
were supposed to do the reduction in the cost of stuff and all. They didn't. They don't care. Their words no good. See, that's the thing. Their words no good.
And
so
the
if you
statistics are is that when you allow amnesty to happen, which really that's what DACA is.
Yeah.
I mean, DACA is amnesty.
Right.
As far as what the president's talking about.
I agree.
More will come, and that's exactly what
Because you
happened.
rewarded them.
You've rewarded them, and you said, look, whatever we say, the bottom line is that we're giving them, allowing them to stay in our country, and it is, we know the cost. The cost on both sides, they agree, it's $28,000 for an illegal household of benefits that they're getting on all different levels. So how much does it cost for them to continue to stay in for, let's just say, $30,000 for the next 10 years? That's $300,000 per household. Does it cost $300,000 to send them back?
No.
I'm sorry, that argument to send them back, it's gonna cost us less, is just a
Costs more to keep them here.
that's a disingenuous argument,
what
that's
it
not a
does.
good argument. Because it's just not in the
But it's
in the
not only
numbers.
that,
It doesn't
once
cost us
you
less to
agree,
keep them here.
once you
Or
agree
to
to
send
let
them
No,
back.
it costs
It's-
us less to send them back.
They're losing the $28,000 with the new program that Trump has on board though. If they can't support themselves and if they have to be on welfare.
that won't happen because the
Those are the
bleeding
ones,
heart
that-
liver
those are the ones
won't
that are
allow
supposed
it.
to be getting kicked back.
Well, if I may interject that, at least a stat. Yeah, it was a 2016, I believe, Pew Research poll. As we know in the United States, it's illegal to hire an illegal, but 73% of illegals have jobs. So if we just enforced what is on the books, 8 million of them aren't here anymore. So I think, it also takes